T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw from his end zone. Dukes. This one into the hands of Burton. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, 98 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. The Colts have it. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 30. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points.
Every time. Keep putting that ball on the ground. That's our ball. Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Here's Marlon Mack. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Over here.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A give, running right is Mack. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
44. I got you, son. 30. 44 is the mic. 44.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Kill. Turn it up.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
2nd and 10. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Dukes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And now this is Hilton on the receiving end. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
That's the call. Back north. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
44's the mic. Switch out. Hey, Alpha. Fofo's the mic. Mike Fofo.
Now Rodgers. This one complete to Devin Funchess. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Naeem Hines, his first carry. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Just like that. Run right. Mike Fofo. Back north. Get the weight room. Hey, orbit. Mike, 44's Mike. Check.
They gonna need some therapy after this.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Complete to Hilton. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Wide, get wide. Hey, 88.
They'll run on first down. It's Mack. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You're not ready. You're not ready. 50. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Below Nichols. Just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
At the 8-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
2nd and 9 now. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Okay, baby, I'm D.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
From the gun on 3rd down. Dukes. That is caught by Cohen. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets it away, and it's a laser, headed for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, 626.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught by Funchess. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. Funches has it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get it together, defense. Get 300. Get 300. Hey, 88.
Mike spoke ball.
And again, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Funches. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And the catch made by Hilton. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Rodgers again now. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Rodgers. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Maher is good, and that will do it for this first half. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Maher now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I'm scared.
Here's a 2nd and 7. This is Miller, complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers punches with a catch over the middle. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now a carry from Mack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. 3rd down here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And some room to roam now. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, 82 yards as the Bears push further out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Ebron caught left side. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. To throw again on second down. Rodgers, incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
44 to Mike, 44 to Mike.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
30. Tight down. General West. 30.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. They have, by the way, gone to the 3rd quarter now at Ford Field in Detroit. And the Lions adding more points to their total, extending that lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On 1st down, Rodgers. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Bilal Nichols picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Now Rodgers from the gun. He'll throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
319. 58, come on. 50. It's just me and you.
On 1st down, Mack. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. He's got it to Hilton. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
He can't land. Run right. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now his shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They try again with Cohen, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Dukes. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Rodgers now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Get that ball. Wipe out. Tight dog, tight dog. Hey, check 26.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 15. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Cohen. And he's got room. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. Looking deep for Hilton. And it's knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
To throw is Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Mike, 57. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
They'll run on 1st down. Cohen. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
18. 6 man.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
First down, Indianapolis.
258. Bring it. Bring it.
Rodgers now on first down. It's caught by Funchess. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1. At the Bears, 19.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Coming to you. Coming to you. Let it go.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Ready. Now the wolf.
Mike 57.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Chicago, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.